India's foreign trade is set to cross $1.6 trillion mark this fiscal, claims Global Trade Research Initiative, a considerable growth from last fiscal year's $1.43 trillion. This is about 48% of India's nominal GDP of $3.4 trillion. The higher trade to GDP ratio also speaks of high trade openness which the country practices. According to data, growth of exporting services would be higher than that of goods. India's overall export of goods and services during April-March 2023 are estimated to reach $755 billion, exhibiting a positive growth of 11.6% over the same period last year at $676 billion. Despite sectoral weaknesses, high trade figures underlies the emergence of trade as an important component of the Indian economy. Top export destinations from India include United States, UAE, the Netherlands, China, Bangladesh, Singapore, UK, and Germany. Let's quickly take a look at the issues with India's trade policy. Like many developing countries, India has an evolving regulatory framework on most new issues. International commitments must be taken only after the domestic regulatory framework is in place, and both must be in sync. New non-trade issues may serve as non-trade barriers and hamper our exports in the future. For example, FTAs, that is free trade agreements, that are under negotiation. India is discussing many new subjects not directly related to trade. These subjects have been included at the request of developed countries, and that include environment, labor, intellectual property rights, data governance, digital trade, gender, anti-corruption, good regulatory practices, and sustainable food systems. India's commitments on these issues in free trade agreements may prove too onerous and would increase the cost of manufacturing and services. For example, if India's exports fail to meet the stringent environment or labor obligations specified in the agreement, India's apparel export may become ineligible for benefits under the pacts. Similarly, taking commitments in data flow and digital trade when the domestic policy frameworks are not ready may not be in India's best interests. Existing free trade agreements with ASEAN, Japan, and South Korea are riddled with trade deficits from India. Another key reason has to be extremely high import duties. India's weak export performance with FTA partners should not surprise us. It happened because of high tariffs in India and significantly lower tariffs in FTA partners. High import tariffs raises the cost of production domestically and makes exports uncompetitive. It is therefore very crucial to acknowledge that trade, competition, and industrial policies can complement each other. This can and should be done through the establishment of a trade policy coordination mechanism that brings together relevant government agencies and stakeholders. A full discussion of all effects is critical to ensure a sensible outcome. India should also adopt a flexible yet interest-based negotiation instead of blanket opposition to decreasing tariff rates. Let's have a quick look at the foreign trade policy of India 2023. It seeks to boost the country's exports to $2 trillion by 2030 by shifting from incentives to remission and entitlement based regime. It also seeks to make Indian rupee a global currency and allow international trade settlements in Indian rupee. The new foreign trade policy identifies 4 new towns of excellence: Faridabad, Muradabad, Mirzapur, and Varanasi, in addition to 39 existing towns of excellence. These towns of excellence will have priority access to export promotion funds under Market Access Initiative scheme. Market Access Initiative is an export promotion scheme envisaged to act as a catalyst to promote India's export on a sustained basis. The new foreign trade policy also envisages the idea of exporter firms being recognized with status based on export performances and will further be made partners in capacity building initiatives. Importantly, foreign trade policy for the first time has been extended to e-commerce exports, which are estimated to grow to $200 to $300 billion by 2030. There is no end date to the policy, and it will be amended as and when needed to provide continuity of policy framework. For more such videos and contents, please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.